Hi there, Free at UK Games Expo, and I am here with Gerry to talk about SLA.
SLA Industries.
Oh, SLA Industries, and I have heard there is a fantastic dystopian universe contained within this book. Is that correct?
What an interesting way of putting it. Yeah, it's a dystopian sci-fi horror type world where the fabric of reality is crumbling around at the edges, and you're working for a company that's trying to keep it all going. They may or may not be evil. They are. And you may or may not have to do some less pleasant things for them. You do. And it's a world in which you play characters who are in a squad working as troubleshooters, dealing with issues from rival companies, invading carrion, which is a monster, rampaging machines, serial killers, murders, and cleaning the sewers.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That is very cool. So how did you come up with a concept for this?
Well, originally it was created by my friend Dave Alsop in 1990 or 89, and I met him in 1991 when we were both working at a company called Fantasy Forge.
And part of first edition, this was?
Yeah, well, we did the first edition 2 years after that, but Dave came up with it on his walks through his hometown of Kilmarnock, and the idea just came to him, and he then just wrote the world and expanded it, and then a team formed around him, and we all started making it into a bigger and better game.
That's incredible. So what made you want to build into a second edition?
Well, we wrote that in 1991 and published it in 1993, and we are now 30 years better at doing what we do. We're better writers, Dave's a better artist, we know how to do all the production much better, and it was time. The game wouldn't die. We'd been through several publishers, and everyone just kept saying, when are you doing a second edition, when are you doing a second edition? We could never afford it. And then we had a Kickstarter for the Cannibal Sector 1 miniatures game. That fell apart. We had to step in to rescue it because that wasn't our Kickstarter. And after we'd done that, we realised we can do this sort of thing. Why not? It's time. Do second edition. And we did. And a very successful Kickstarter that we fulfilled on time, on budget, and everyone's happy, which is rare in these days.
So what I end up imagining is I never quite often hear dystopian and sci-fi within the same universe. Right. So what kind of characters exist within this world?
Well, mostly you can play a human wandering around working for the company, or you can play a frother, which is a drug-addicted human who likes combat drugs and fighting. You can play a Shakhtar, which is an alien race, or the Wraithen, that's a Shakhtar there in the big picture. The Wraithen is the other alien race that we do. They're both coming in our next Kickstarter, those games are. And you can also play an advanced carrion, which is a more intelligent version of the vermin that crawls around the sewers of Mort. And there are a few other options as well. And you all work together in a squad working for SLA Industries. You start your squad, you get given BPNs, which are these basically job tickets, and you do those as part of your employment and try to pay your rent and buy better guns.
That's fantastic. And what game system does this use?
We use our own system called the S5S system, which was developed for SLA Industries 2nd edition by a guy called Chris Shepperson, Shep. And it involves a dice pool where you have 1 D10 for your success as to whether or not you do it, and the other up to 5 D10 that you roll with it determine how well you do it. And they are all determined by the number of dice is determined on your skill levels, your stats, and all the other variables like that. And if you succeed, you succeed. If you succeed really well, you get bonuses. If you fail really badly, it's not very good.
That's brilliant. I mean, I can see you've got a lot of books over here. So what kind of stuff have we got here within the
at the moment, we've only got these are the 3 books from the first edition. We've got the original book, Cannibal Sector 1, which was started as a skirmish game. But Dave and I realised we don't really do skirmish games, and just wrote 300 extra pages of role-playing stuff. And Hunter Shoots Issue 2 was the first game we did back when we first decided to go independent again. Broke free from Cubicle 7, our former publisher, and broke out on our own, and that was to see if we could do another book. So we did that. We then did our Kickstarter for SLA Industries 2nd edition, which gave us this book, which is our main rule book. And this comes with the GM's screen, which is, the GM's pack. And I'll show you the full art for that because it is extraordinary.
Please do.
This is another piece by Dave Alsop, the creator of SLA Industries.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's 4 panels of US letter size hard, and it's brilliant. It's got all the rules on the inside that you need.
I mean, the artwork itself for me is fascinating to look like, because you don't often see fantastical creatures but combined within a sci-fi universe. And this is my problem personally with sci-fi universes, is because I do have quite a soft spot for fantasy. But I'm looking at this and it does seem quite up my street, which is lovely. But what else do you have on
we also have different variant covers that we did for the Kickstarter. Like we've got this one, which is the special version, and we have a more expensive gold version. They're the same book, but we've done limited edition covers to try to get people who are really into it to have better things. Deliver on quality without. We don't put a barrier on content, so you don't. If you buy the expensive one, you don't get more content. So if you get the basic edition, you have all the stuff we've written. The special ones are just a better cover, because we don't like putting barriers between everyone and everything we've written. And we've also got this special cover, which is Kickstarter only, so we're not really selling that apart from to Kickstarter backers. And we've got a quick start, which is a very simple little book. And it makes it look like we've got more books out than we have. But if you come back next year, as we will, then we will probably have another 2 or 3 books out on the market, plus other stuff we've been doing. So yeah, it looks like we've got more books than we have, but we've just got quality over quantity.
Absolutely, and I understand that giving people the option to collect as well, which is really, really nice, having that variant.
And if you don't want to, you can just buy the standard edition and play it.
For those that have played SLA Industries before in the first edition, what changes have happened?
The biggest one is that we are 30 years better at it. It's hard to stress how much that has improved. We're very proud of our first edition, but there's things that we wanted to tighten up and make. People didn't like the original system, so we improved on that.
It's evolved.
The world is the same world, but the time scale has moved on. Events in the universe have happened, and we've also dealt with more stuff that's relevant to play than the background story that we put in the first edition. We've got fewer pages, but at the same time more content, less. Like I said, we are better writers and better artists than we were back then, and we were good then. So people should like it. Absolutely,
seems like it has evolved a lot. Well, thank you so much for having a chat with us, guys. If you are interested in SLA Industries, it is certainly interesting. Come stop by at UK Games Expo. We're here when you can pick up loads of variant copies, your quick start guide, and everything you need to do to get started.